Hi everybody, it's Karen from Scrappy Connect Studios, and I'm here today for DCWV to share with you a little project tutorial on creating these mini party favor boxes. I'm really excited about this project because I get to share with you a couple of new products from DCWV. One of them is this DIY project stack called Paper Roses. All of the shapes are already kind of pre-cut for you. You just punch them out and then put them together. And for this particular stack, you can actually see the instructions on how to put the roses together here at the back. I'll also show you in the video a modified version. And then I'm also going to show you for the base how to use the DIY Project Stack favor boxes. For this one, it's a little bit different. It comes with all the paper, but you choose which box you want to make by choosing one of the templates from the back, just cutting it out, following the scoring lines, and then putting it together, and you're all set to go. So let me show you how this comes together. Okay, so what I've gone ahead and done is chosen one of the templates. This is from the favor boxes stack. This one's called Mini-Cupcake, and I've just gone ahead and just used some scissors just to cut it out. Then choose your patterned paper, and I'm going to go with this pretty chevron. It's kind of cream color, but we're going to turn it onto the wrong side. So figure out which you want to be the outside of your box, and then turn it over to the other side. All of the paper is double-sided in this stack, so you've got lots of choices. Then I'm just going to take a little bit of adhesive, and I'm just going to kind of put it on the ends here. It's just going to keep my template down as I'm doing some cutting and some scoring. Use something that's not too sticky and that won't be permanent. My ATG gun is awesome because I can actually just kind of get everything a little less sticky here. It'll stick, but it won't be permanent. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to line up my template with my paper. I'm just going to use the edges of my paper to make sure everything's straight, especially because there's kind of a chevron pattern on the back, and just tack it down. Now all you need to do is take your scissors and just follow it all the way around the outside edge. I'm going to do that off camera. You don't need to watch me doing that, and then I'll come back and show you how it comes together. Okay, so now I'll just kind of show you how this looks. So you can see I've still got my template on here. It's still attached. Everything's been cut out on the back. And now we just need to add in our scoring lines. So all I'm going to do is just line this up on my scoring board. And what's great is everything's nicely, easily measured. So if you line it up on the end of your scoring board, you'll just kind of end up in a scoring kind of groove. So you don't even have to do any measuring, so you don't need to worry about that. So I'll just run my scoring tool just along. I'm just following the dotted lines that are on the template, just like this. And you do have to press down fairly hard just because you're going through kind of two pieces of paper. And then I'm just going to rotate it and do the same with these scoring lines just right in here. So we'll just make sure I'm into a groove, and we'll just run this down, and we'll just run this one down here. Perfect. Now what you can do is lift off your template. And this is where you want to just be a little bit careful. There are some great removable adhesive products out there now, so those would be perfect for this too. We'll just take it off. Oh, you can see I just took off a little bit of color. This is why you want this to be on the wrong side of your box, but you won't even see it when it's all put together, so that's fine. So all we're going to do now is we're just going to fold all of these score lines and just tighten them up with your bone folder or scoring tool or whatever you've got on hand. Even the blunt end of a knife works really well. You can see that I'm folding inward. So I'm on the wrong side of my paper that I've chosen to be the wrong side, and I'm folding inwards. All right, we'll just finish these ones up here. Oops, I think that one's a bit crooked, but we can fix that after. And then two more, just one right here. The scoring tool really just does help give a nice crisp fold for when you're putting it together. Okay, so now we have to figure out the glue goes in these 4 spots, and then each one of these spots is going to match up to the side wall of the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of just get that off there, and we'll just fold in one of the tabs. You'll notice I'm actually putting the glue on what appears to be the right side of the paper, and that's okay. So I'm folding in these tabs and applying the glue to the right side of the paper. Try to get your glue close to the folded edge. It'll just keep your box nice and tight as you put everything together. All right, now I'm going to fold up this tab on the side here. I'll try to do this slowly so you can see. And this side is going to match up right there. Make sure you're lining up your edges, the folded line with the edge of your paper. And there we go. And just press it down. And we'll just go on this side, do the same thing here. Just pull it right up and match up that edge. And the last one right there. Perfect. Can you already see how kind of our boxes come together? Isn't it cute? Love this little box. Oh, I forgot one of my score lines here. We'll just fold that one over, And there you go. You've got your little mini cupcake box and it's ready to embellish. And I'm going to show you how to use the paper roses stack to do that. Okay, so let's talk about the roses. Each one of the sheets from the stack will make 2 roses. So the pieces that you will need per rose are 2 of these 5-petal pieces. So you can see there's 5 petals there. You need 2 of them. And then you're going to need 1 of the 4-petal pieces right here, and 1 of the 3-petal pieces right here. And then you're going to need 3 of the single petals per rose. Now, the great thing about these pieces is they're already perforated, so you can actually just kind of bend them like this and just really carefully punch them out. Now, I have big, fumbly fingers, and I am not very good with perforated things. So here's a little trick for you if you're in the same boat that I am. Take a pair of scissors, and instead of just punching them out, just cut around the edges. Just follow the perforation and cut them out. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you how to assemble one of the roses. So I've got all my pieces ready to go here, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this on the camera, but you end up with a little white kind of edge just right around, of course, because you can see the inside of the paper when you cut it out. Now it's totally fine. You might be totally fine with that, but I just like to take a marker and just kind of run my marker around the edge of the petals just like this. This marker is just slightly darker than the red color. DCWV's done an awesome job kind of giving you that variegated color, that kind of ombre look along the edge. And then I'm just kind of finishing it off with an even darker edge on the rose. You know, like the roses when they're in their prime and they start to get that really dark edge around them. That's kind of what I'm looking for there. So I'd like to do that around all the pieces of my flower. And then I've just taken a little paintbrush and I'm taking one of my single pieces and I'm just rolling it into a little cone shape here. This is probably the most fiddly part of the entire rose, but you want to get a nice little cone shape here. Now, I use hot glue for my roses, just because I'm really comfortable with it and I know it's going to be secure, and quite frankly, it's quick to dry. I'm a little impatient when it comes to making paper flowers. So hot glue works for me, but use whatever adhesive works for you. You just want to make sure that it dries quickly. So I'm just going to make sure that this cone is really staying in place, just like this. So this is the inside, the very middle part of your flower. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get the next petal on. So again, I'm using one of the single petal pieces, and I'm just going to kind of fold it in the middle, just kind of rounding it a bit so it goes over top easily. And it's just going to go over top of this middle piece. Now let me see if I can show you what this is looking like. So you can see how that one is kind of wrapped around or is inside the other one. So we'll just put some glue on the inside bottom edge here. And then I'm going to take the first piece I did, where the fold is, I'm going to tuck that in. So the folded edge is actually hidden by the other petal now. Now here, I just want to fold back the edges of this piece that I just put on, just to give the petals a little more of a realistic look. Rose petals kind of fold back on themselves in different ways, and so it's just kind of a good time to do that. And I'm going to take my final single petal piece, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So I'm just rounding it out a bit. You can use them, you know, something to, like a pen, or some people have curling tools, which work great. And again, I'm just going to take that open edge, and I'm going to place that down into the piece that I just rounded off. Now, in the instructions that come with the stack, they actually show you how to wrap this or do this part around a piece of floral wire so that you can put it into a vase or a bouquet. But for my particular flower, I actually want it to sit flat on the top of a box. So you can kind of see it needs to kind of have a flat bottom. So I don't use the floral wire in this particular application, and I'll show you how to modify it. Okay, so now next piece is our 3-petal piece, and it's got this little kind of beak shape sticking out. Just add a little bit of glue onto that, and then you're going to kind of wrap it around the back of the other edge to create a little bit of a 3-petal cone shape, just like this. Looks a little complicated. Once you've done one, it'll totally make sense. Now, if you put the middle piece in, you can see that it sticks up. So I'm going to trim off the bottom. I'm actually creating a hole at the bottom of this particular piece. Again, this is so that we can get that flat bottom. And I'm just going to actually add that, the 3 single pieces into the middle, and you can see they pop out the bottom. So I just add a bit of glue onto the bottom edge of this little cup shape. that I've created, and I just slide this piece right down, and I'm going to push it right down into that hot glue, and I'm going to kind of push the 3 petal piece up, and I'm just going to curl these pieces back on themselves, just like this, folding the edges and just kind of smoothing things out as we go, like that. This is actually really cute, just like this. If you were doing kind of a series of flowers, you could actually even just do one like this. I think that'd be really cute as well. All right, so now grab one of your 4 petal pieces. Actually, it's the only 4 petal piece you have. And again, you're going to wrap it back on itself to create a cone shape. We're going to trim off the bottom, create another hole, just like this. And I'm going to slide those pieces into the bottom here. Now, this is the last one that's going to kind of come through to the bottom. When you put it in, try to turn it so that your bottom level of petals actually is in this gap created by the other petals. And for this one, I'm actually going to put the glue around the bottom edge, kind of the outside edge. And I'll just wrap it kind of around there. Who's afraid of hot glue? Not me. Okay, and we'll just fold back these petals again. Give them a bit of a curl. You could even use your brush handle, or some people actually use scissors. I think they even suggest using scissors in the stack. So that can work really well too. Honestly, I'm just most comfortable using my fingers and just kind of pressing things down and folding things as I want them to be. Okay, now I'm going to get these 2 5-petal pieces together. They're identical, so you fold them up exactly the same way. So just one like this. And you can see, because they're 5 petals, there's much less of the cup shape going on. It's almost kind of a flat shape. So we'll just glue those together. And then before you end up putting the rows together, this is a great time to curl these petals a little bit. Once you stack these next 2 pieces together, things get a little tight if things aren't curled up first. So again, just using my thumb and my index finger, and I'm just kind of rolling the paper back on itself. Just giving it a bit of dimension and a little bit more of a realistic look. Just like this. Okay, now one of these is going to stack on top of the other, so we'll just put a bit of hot glue here. Again, we want to put the petals so that they alternate and kind of fill in the spaces in between. And now I'm just going to kind of fold some of these up a little bit, and I'll fold the bottom layer ones down and back on themselves. All right. Perfect. Now we've got to trim off this big spike because of course that's not going to work on a flat bottomed rose. So right where you created that glue, you're just going to trim that off, and it's just going to sit inside of here. So we'll grab some more hot glue and just right in there. Be generous with your glue, but be careful that you're putting it right in the middle. Otherwise you will start to see it if you look inside into the petals. And lining it up with those gaps again, we'll just put it all together. Whoops. And of course, if you are using hot glue, take off all those strings. And there we have it. The rose is all finished, and I'm just going to kind of manhandle it a bit and get it looking the way that I want, and I'll show you how to finish up your box. Okay, so to finish off your box, essentially all you need to do is finish off the bottom of your rose. If you want to attach one of the leaf pieces that's in the stack to the bottom, and then just take your hot glue and attach it onto the top like this. Now the really neat thing about this, doing the project this way, is you can see if I close up this box, the lid pops up a little bit, but when you add the flower, the weight of the flower keeps the lid down. So you don't need to do anything else to keep this box closed. The flower will actually do that for you. But if you do want to embellish it a little bit more, you could wrap some ribbon around like I did with this one. This is some chevron ribbon from one of our partner companies, May Arts, and then add a little tag if you want to. One of the other things I thought would be really cute was to punch a couple of holes here and here, run some ribbon in from the back, and then use the ribbon and a bow maybe to close up the box as well, of course with the flower on top. So I hope you're inspired to try out these new DIY stacks from DCWV. There's countless different combinations and possibilities. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to come visit us at the website and on our blog as well.